Hello there, my friends. I wanted to share with you a little project I'm working on. And in fact, it's something that I've recommended to many dozens of clients over the years. And that is the family contract. So what is that essentially? It's a way to very concretely capture the expectations of each family member, especially in terms of chores, behavior. Yes, one thing that I saw happening a lot, especially working with the autism and the ADHD population, is challenges in comprehension and working memory. And this is something that typical kids pull too, but it's specifically useful with the populations I just mentioned. So where do you use it? Let's say you have specific chores that you want your child to make sure get done once a week, once a day. And then when you ask them to do it, you hear things like, oh, I don't remember you telling me that, or, oh, I forgot, or a variety of reasons that they give you to simply opt out of any responsibility for those things. So what the contract does is it captures very specifically and very comprehensively what the expectations are. So let's say your kid's job is to clean the bathroom. Well, if you're a parent of a child, I suspect you've already discovered that the definition of clean varies between the two of you. What you have in mind for a clean bathroom is typically not what your child has in mind. So that may be something that needs to go on the agreement too. And this isn't something that has to be, Chore Chart works wonders. The one summer that they used it, right on, Angie. And this doesn't have to be like 27 pages like a mortgage, okay? This is just a means of giving the expectations in a way where it virtually eliminates any ambiguity in terms of what the expectation is. So when you answer the who, what, when, where, why, and how questions within each expectation so that the kid knows exactly, and again, we're talking, executive functioning skills here, difficulty taking organized action. When you have a kid with ADHD, maybe they know cognitively what they're supposed to do, but then they have a hard time executing the how, organizing their thoughts, organizing the activity. So when you put the how on the contract, you're basically giving them directions. So when I say clean the bathroom, they say, okay, this is the first step you take in cleaning the bathroom. This is the second, and so on. Maybe you need an addendum to the overall contract that has all that explanation. So you can basically give your kid the directions. Jesse put, we were taught this in the parenting classes I went to, and it was too advanced for Braden. Well, you know what? People are at different levels. You start more simply. In my case, because my working memory sucks, Jesse, I need to take one step, complete it, then come back and look at what the second step is, complete that, and so on. So you break it down and you get creative in whatever way your child needs it. Now, what I'm explaining to you now is pretty much the basic way to do it. But depending on our kids' challenges, we may have to modify it. And I'll be honest, one of the reasons I waited till now to do this is because this, my working memory stinks, okay? And I often make agreements with my kiddos, and I forget that I made the agreement, because some things just don't stick. And quite recently, I ended up paying my son for doing me a favor. And then later, my wife reminded me, do you realize that you made this agreement that he was supposed to do this for you anyway in exchange for something else? And so like, oh, holy cow, I totally forgot that conversation. Then I realized, man, I better start writing this stuff down, because I wonder how many other expectations I've explained that the boys are getting away with not doing because I forgot I made the agreement. They take advantage of my lousy memory. Okay? So that's another reason why these things are important. You can put behavior expectations in there, and you can frame it in these terms. Let's say you have established family values of being polite, of being kind, of being helpful, and then you can put behaviors under that are ways of meeting this expectation. So if you're being kind, you're practicing this behavior and that behavior, and you can make recommendations for each child. And then if you wanted to, you can put some little carrots, some incentives for doing those things. Chores are just part of being a member of the family. Yeah, Kathy, you need this for the whole family. I mean, that's one of the things that I'm doing. I'm making sure that, my wife already works way above and beyond, and she's very proactive. So there's no need to put her on there. It's more me and the boys that need to get our act together in many ways. So it's me and them that I'm pretty much going to put in this contract, so to speak. And when it's done, and here is the icing on the cake, each member has to sign under their section that they've read it, asked questions, and agreed to it. So they can't come back later and say, oh, well, I forgot, or I didn't agree to that. Well, let's look at the contract and see what it says. Oh, I didn't think that's what it meant. Okay, well, you had time to clarify before. You didn't use that time. So let's talk about it now so you're clear on it. So claiming confusion could be very valid, but it's not a way to get out of the requirement. What it is another opportunity to clarify. Because kids are going to be bumping up against their working memory. They forgot that they discussed it with you. They didn't understand what they read. Okay, fine. Let's clarify before you still have to follow through. So it eliminates the option of getting out of jail free in this respect. So those are the basic ideas behind this. As I mentioned, there are many, many ways to vary it depending on the needs of the family members. So I hope that this idea was helpful for you. Feel free to implement it, and then you'll get back to me and let me know how it worked for you. And if there's anybody else, you probably know some other families that have similar needs, go ahead and share this with them. They'll thank you for it. And don't forget that I offer coaching to families to help them implement the strategies that I discuss in these videos. So if that's something that you would like to explore with me, send me a message. We'll talk about it. But until then, thank you all for showing up. I really, really appreciate it. This has been Brian, and we will talk again soon.